are here at the Denton County Youth Fair. If I'm here, then you know I'm talking to the winner, and here he is. You won your class today, so that means that you're the most admired steer here. Let me know, how does it feel? Come on, too good for an interview? The fame's already gotten to your head.
What's the one word that's ended sports dreams faster than you can say championship? It's health. Health can make or break your favorite team season, and it's already devastated nearly half of the NBA. This year's Mean Green men's basketball season has been our school's biggest star on the national stage, but like all good things, they do come to an end.
It was a huge up and down transition game tonight. You know, the refs were sweating. Y'all ran 1,000 miles. Y'all planning on running at that pace tonight? Still felt like it was a close game. I just saw Coach Bookie on and say, hey, it's winning time. What was the plan from then on out to close out the game? In the third quarter, you really started getting your bag, different buckets, getting to the free throw line. What's going through your head whenever you're really starting to feel it in big games like this?
Lil Birdie told me that you can sing a little bit. Can NTTV get a sample of those vocals?
Sure. Birds flying high, you know how I feel, don't you know?
Okay, I'm gonna leave the singing to you. I'm at the Parker House that used to be a home mortuary before it was shut down by the FBI in the 1940s due to the horrific acts done by old man Parker's daughter, Mary Parker. Intramurals are officially back in session, and the first activity begins tonight. It's a 6-on-6 dodgeball tournament. The road to success in sports isn't an easy one, but for South Grand Prairie high school basketball star Jocelyn Hartfield, it's rare to find someone who has shared the same experience that she has. Here is Jocelyn's journey.
Jocelyn Hartfield. She's a South Grand Prairie varsity basketball player who just finished competing in her senior season. Like every other player, she loves basketball. She loves her team, but above all, she loves that she's living life.
Me and my friends, we always kind of planned these summer little dates. So, I mean, we got on the ATV, we were riding around. No one was really in the streets, we were just listening to music. And as soon as we were pretty much about to get back to the house, it was just one wrong turn and pretty much my life changed from that moment on.
I was at work, busy, close to actually getting off, probably about an hour or two, when I actually got a phone call. And my phone just kept ringing, the cell phone, and I kept, clicking it off. I couldn't answer because I'm at work. So all of a sudden I thought, okay, something has to be going on because this number keeps coming up, no one I knew. Finally, I answered. As soon as I said hello, before I can say anything, you hear screaming, kids screaming, and Miss Hartfield, that's all they kept saying. Miss Hartfield, it's Jocelyn, it's Jocelyn. And then I lit up, and start screaming back. And as soon as they was trying to explain everything, and they really couldn't explain because I was blowing up. I just heard the name Jocelyn. And they said, Miss Hartfield, she's hurt. And and I just screamed, and I said, I gotta go. And I took off not knowing where I was going.
On May 23rd, 2019, Jocelyn was severely injured in an ATV accident.
As a parent, how scary is it seeing your daughter there on that bed?
Imagine your heart beating times 100. That's extremely scary. The ride in the ambulance alone, enough to see that. You seeing your child getting off by herself, that's enough. And then wheeling into the room is even worse. And then plus all wrapped up, blood, bandages, everything. It was just a lot.
While the Hartfield family was grateful that she survived, there were concerns for Jocelyn's future that hit her at the core.
When they came back in, the face that they had, it wasn't looking good. So she finally came back in and she had told me the news that basically my whole hand was broken and that it didn't look like I was ever gonna play any type of sport again or basically maneuver around my life again.
Her injuries required a skin graft as well as 10 hours of surgery. But the road returning from the hospital wasn't an easy one.
It was hard. I mean, there was days where I would just break down and cry. Just being in the position I was in, I didn't have hands to do anything. I went basically back to infant stage. My parents, my sisters, they had to do everything for me. I couldn't use the bathroom by myself. I couldn't put on clothes by myself.
Jocelyn began a 9-month rehab process at Ogunro Head and Shoulder Center and went through physical therapy sessions for 2 to 3 days a week.
It wasn't about the basketball, it was about getting my hands to function. So they pushed me every single day. I was doing rehab at school as well with my athletic trainers. So I would just go from school, sit at the table, do my homework while they're working on my hands.
However, her desire to return to the hardwood didn't align with her body's readiness.
Pretty much every doctor appointment that I went to ended up with me being in tears because every time I went, I thought they were going to say, yeah, we'll clear you. Yeah, everything looks great. But it was just like the tiniest tears or the tiniest breaks that was in my hands. They were really like, they did not want to let me go until everything was cleared and they knew I was healthy. So it was just a long process just to wait and just get the words like, yes, you're cleared. And I remember when I got the words, like I'll never forget, I was just jumping, I was elated. So from the moment I got cleared, I was ready to go.
On December 12, 2019, Jocelyn was cleared to play basketball. Her mission was accomplished. Jocelyn made her sophomore season debut on December 17th, 2019.
First game back was against, a DeSoto team that was the #1 team in the country at the time. And, she came off the bench and had a huge impact that game. A lot of the times the result or the thing that people see in terms of her first practice back or her first game back, but they don't see all the work that came before that.
Jocelyn's journey proves how not being certain of the path ahead doesn't mean you can't get where you want to go.
She got a scholarship offer after her injury or after the accident. She got several offers after her injury. That didn't prevent her from reaching her ultimate goal of playing college basketball. And the biggest thing with that is, again, it's the unseen hours, the working behind the scenes, all the small mundane stuff that people just don't see. And you see the result, and unless you know her story, or you might see some of the scars if you get up close to her, like, hey, well, I wonder what happened there. Like, you wouldn't know anything.
With NTTV News, I'm Armando Berry. The emergence of the COVID-19 pandemic forced Remain the band to make tough decisions for their upcoming album that was originally set to release in 2020.
I thought about going ahead and releasing the music and not having a big album release show, but a lot of the places we were wanting to pitch to, they were all just scared for their life because they're like, we have no idea. We're not making any money, everything's shut. So everything and anything we did was just zilch for a year.
While some may see a band as a nice hobby, Remain has impacted its members deeper than just the music.
It's given me a lot of confidence. I may not have always been the most, outspoken person, but being on a stage and performing in front of people, especially as a drummer, you kind of stick out the most. So if you mess up, people are going to hear that. So just kind of helping me be a little more bold, be a little bit more confident in the things that I do.
Since businesses have opened back up, the band has enjoyed getting back in rhythm performing shows for live audiences.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2.
I was in a few other projects during COVID, and we did a lot of live stream gigs, and we would sometimes do cover gigs like outdoors and stuff, but there's nothing like being in front of a crowd.
With NTTV News, I'm Armando Berry. It's been a year since UNT has celebrated its annual homecoming week. As UNT has returned to its new normal as a university, so has the anticipation for the Mean Green's annual celebration.
I think everybody's already really excited, and they're going to be going out, participating in all of the activities and trying to have as much fun as they can.
This year's festivities will offer the UNT community's newest members a sense of homecoming.
I do think it's a good thing that they brought it back, so the sophomores and the incoming freshmen this year got the chance to experience it, because whenever I experienced it freshman year, it was pretty fun.
Wednesday's Yell Like Hell event co-host Efron Jeanette relayed the significance of homecoming for the UNT student experience.
COVID took so much from a lot of different people. It took away our sense of intimacy, and now that we're getting back to regular, people can find a sense of family, a sense of, yo, I belong here, UNT. I like UNT. There's something for me, there's something for them, there's something for everybody to do.
After the week of festivities, homecoming wraps up Saturday when the Mean Green take on UTEP at Apogee Stadium. With NTTV News, I'm Armando Berry.